this Oscar Goose is anti-Semitic then.
So this film's quite, hideous in its body horror.
It was good. It was a good plotline as well. I was thoroughly confused.
4D, you feel the slap of our talent land.
Well, Megan Fox has got quite a long neck.
All the magic was in the neck.
And then they groomed them to win Oscars because the Gooses told them to. A never-ending polo neck. The horrible rubbery slap sound as it really distends.
No!
Hello everyone, welcome to Coming This Summer. I am your host Luke Illingworth, and today we have Will South.
Hello. Happy New Year.
Drew Woolnough.
Hello there.
Ross Lane.
I'm coming this summer.
And back with a vengeance, we have Jack Ewins.
Good evening.
How you doing, mate? I'm rubbing your nose with my cursor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, stop it.
You good, guys?
Yeah, really good. Good
Yeah.
crimbo.
Nice.
Quite good.
We've actually had our Christmas this time. So, what you got? What we got?
I've got a bit of honey JD.
Oh no.
If we go down that route, I've got a bottle of lovely tap water.
Fancy.
I've got a dog mug with nothing in it.
Oh, you're just pretending.
That's just for show.
I've got some PVA glue.
There's actually some tea in it.
Nice. I've got my advent calendar with some of the windows not opened yet.
Ooh.
Oh, some of them
Behind-
are too.
Philanthropy.
An idea
Digging in on some
film.
chockies.
Could have a few chockies.
I've got like 7 chocolates to eat,
Oh,
and the last 5 are extra big.
for an extra big bowl.
They've gone a bit white because they've started to go off.
Yeah, they go a
Yeah,
bit
they
chalky,
have,
don't they?
Yeah,
Like,
they got horrible.
Blue.
It's like dog chocolate, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm.
Rank.
No,
but if it's there, you'll eat it.
Yeah, well.
I
Hang
got
on, I just do it.
I got something that might work. For Christmas, I got a My Heritage DNA thing.
I want to do that
Yeah, as a film.
as a film. Right, yeah, so
DNA.
So
you have-
people do that to figure out their societal worth.
Well, what,
Yeah.
You get
Yeah.
ranked by your DNA.
Or it could be 2 twins who find out
Or your-
they're not actually twins,
Or your
even though
DNA.
they look exactly the same, and they did come
Like,
out the same.
yeah.
They did come out the
Is
same
this
womb
gonna
on the
be-
same date.
Is this going to be time travel again?
What if it's like
Always talking
one of the twins? They just got a baby that was born at the same time, and gave it plastic surgery to make it look like the other one.
Yeah.
Or the womb could be a tear through the into another dimension. So it's an alternate universe baby that's come through into ours.
Well, alternate universe accessed entirely through one person's womb.
Yeah.
I like Drew. I like the phrase calling a vagina a tear in the spasm.
So I like the idea, Will, you mentioned before we started recording, of doing like an Oscar, like an
Yeah, it's
Oscar
Oscar
film.
season, isn't it?
Oscar season. So something to do with
Yeah.
that and DNA
Like,
testing
something along
could work.
like, sort of like as big as 12 Years a Slave was. That was really big, wasn't it? And it was around
Oscar
about
bait.
Oscar bait.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
It could be like a National Lampoon
Whoa!
tries to win the Oscars.
Yeah.
National Lampoon's Oscar Vacation.
National Lampoon's Oscar bait.
Or maybe it can be about someone called Oscar who owns a bait shop. Like a fish bait shop.
Oscar's bait.
Oscar's bait.
I'm fed up with
So
these actors coming in here wasting my time.
No one wants to fish.
what if he's like a failed? What if Oscar? He's like a failed agent for actors, and none of them have won him an Oscar. So he baits them into going to a certain place by doing this DNA test thing. So they'll do it as like a gimmick, and then he lulls them into a place where he kills them or something.
No, he should merge them into one super.
Basically, he uses
one actor to win him the Oscar. He uses pieces of each actor, like Frankenstein.
Oh, he wants to create the perfect actor.
And all he needs now,
combination actor, actress, every gender, every race.
yeah, all diversive. But the thing,
they're just
no. But the last thing he needs is the head, and he's got to choose like who's the last.
Whose head?
Whose head does he? It's got to be Michael Cera, right?
The ultimate Oscar bait actor.
He's quite Andy Serkis.
I think like the most nominations for an Oscar is Jack Nicholson, I believe.
Oh, really?
So
Is
could
it?
be Oh, maybe it's Jack Nicholson's won the most.
Okay.
And female, it's Meryl Streep. So we could have a mixture of
Half Meryl,
Jack
half
Nicholson, half Streep.
Jack Streepson. Meryl Nickel Vice. Meryl Nickel Day-Lewis.
Just imagine him presenting it, ripping down a curtain, covering up this creature in a cage, and it's like screaming like an ape, flinging feces everywhere. Well, there we go. That was quick.
Oh, fucking hell.
We've got
You should
it.
hear it. Schindler's List.
It's in the bag.
But before it flings the feces, it molds it into the shape of an Oscar. I mean,
It only shits out Oscars.
it's like the Golden Goose and Jack and the Beanstalk.
it really squats and really shrieks as it comes out.
So in order to get his Oscar, he baits actors to come in so he can cut a piece of their genetics off, and then form this actor Goose that lays Oscars so he can have as many Oscars as
Maybe
he
it's that these. Maybe it's this creature that actually that shits Oscars predicts who's going to win the Oscars for that year.
It
So
shits an Oscar out and it has a name on it.
It has the name and
the
the
names are already on
category,
it, yeah.
so everyone. So he starts using it as like a betting ring. People are trying to get
It's
the
like-
most valuable information from this golden shit goose.
Maybe this Oscar shitting monster. Oh, it's a monster. It's
It does sound like a monster, I've got to say.
Yeah, that does sound like a monster.
it's the Film Actors Guild from America, Team America.
Yeah.
Maybe maybe this Oscar shitting monster is held prisoner or held like in a room in the Film Actors Guild, and Oscar and his band of super DNA'd actors have to break in and get it out.
Yeah, they want to capture it. They want to capture
Yeah,
it so they
want
can
to capture it.
end this monopoly.
He's got an army of hybrid actor genetic splicing.
Yeah,
he storms the Screen Actors Guild.
You can have like you said, like Meryl Day-Lewis. Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah, but that's actually Daniel Craig and Daniel Day-Lewis. It's a subtle one, that, but
Yeah.
I think it still works.
So who's the main character? Is it the Goose or is it the
It should be
Or
a
is it
tragic
an actor?
love story
Well, I think-
between Oscar and the Goose.
But is Oscar like
Yeah.
is he
The
evil?
Goose is actually Oscar's wife, but she's been turned into a goose.
He agreed to let
That's
them
why they
use.
call it the Oscars, because it's his last name, and that's their surname is Oscar, so it's called the Oscars. Yeah,
Can
They come
she
out
be called
alive.
Tosca Oscar?
Tosca
And
Oscar.
he can be called Bosco Oscar.
Yeah,
The Oscars come out alive. They're little sentient golden men. They're just
They
like,
don't live
Yeah.
long. They don't
They
live
don't-
long.
they have to cull them.
I'm just
They're
imagining.
like in... Go on.
Sorry, I'm just imagining the Oscars now as Tubbs and Edward from League of Gentlemen. Just Tubbs like creatures. Oh, my little Oscars! Come now, Tubbs.
There's 12 of them.
We must predict who's winning the best editing award.
I thought you meant like they were laying out the Oscars as in that is who wins the award, is whoever's name just happens to be on this like magical monster beast Oscar shits, whatever they
that's-
are.
Yeah,
I was
definitely,
thinking,
yeah.
I was thinking of the gooses being kind of like, so I watched Wanted recently, and you know how they have like the loom that tells them who to kill next or whatever. it's basically the similar sort of thing to that, and they've built the Film Actors Guild around this beast that like gives them a glimpse into Oscar futures. So that's how I was kind of seeing it. Perhaps they could just have a guild instead of assassins. They're just a guild of actors. There you go.
Yeah.
And they just get chosen. So like.
So what's the plot of this then? So like someone finds out that about this magical goose wants to steal it, or they?
I think
Oscar's
they want
here?
He wants to free it. I think Oscar wants to free the Oscar beast.
It's chained up.
Because they're really abusing
Skywalker
it.
run.
It's Hollywood, so they're really gonna be doing pretty disgusting sexual things to it. So maybe it could be a metaphor for all the sexual abuse allegations coming out.
This analogy in this.
Does that mean that we have like this huge, like the grotesque, like man that looks after the Oscar beast as like a sort of parody to Harvey Weinstein?
He tries to play it off as he's going to get famous, but it's the actual.
No, he says one day Oscar.
He knows they're going to get famous.
How am I going to edit this? Well, if you do edit it, you'll get the award for best editor.
Yeah. I edit.
He promises the beast that one day it'll lay an Oscar with its name on it.
You edited around
beautiful
my
lie.
social power in the last one.
Like, but Johnny Depp's got 6 of these. I just want one.
So obviously we're going to have like a full cast of hero actors.
Well, the main beast is going to be made up of like several. I think you're going to have like I don't know.
Yeah.
They're all
Jane Fonda's leg and.
Should we load loads of actors in like a goose shape?
Yeah. They've got the actress who played Tomb Raider, in the new poster to be the neck.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
She'd make a lovely goose neck.
lots of necks of different actors.
Which is made of necks.
That's just the neck beast. Is it just going to look like a snake made of necks?
Yeah.
Another name for a dick is a gooseneck. Says.
I've never heard that one before. But that's amazing. Gooseneck.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
That's why I laughed. It's like, who's going to be the gooseneck?
Oh, guys, you wouldn't believe this, but I found a list of long-necked actors.
Use them all.
This is a genuine
Use them all.
hobby. This is a genuine hobby. For some
hang on.
people.
This is where the internet's got us. Brilliant.
There's only 3 names on the list. And I've not heard of any of
That's
them.
right. I'm sure their necks is sufficiently long to make a giant.
It's not an exhaustive list, apparently.
Can he check that against the widest necked actors as well? See if we can get a variation.
Well, Megan Fox has got quite a long neck.
Is she on the list though?
Well, not on that list, no. But
Well, if she's not on that list, then no.
no,
If you're not on the list, you don't get in.
No.
Yeah.
You're not on the list.
Should
Don't
You ain't
get
got a long
pissed.
neck.
this goose snake be made of
creature.
Oscar winners' necks, though?
Yeah.
Wait, what? I
Maybe
missed that.
retired Oscar winners. That's
Yeah.
where they go. So that's how
So
you
you
predict.
got-
Self-fulfilling prophecy. Because they
Yeah,
get
but
told
it's
to win an
the-
Oscar, and then when they win the Oscar, they have to pay the price by their neck being removed and attached.
But is it really bait if they know that's where their career's going to end?
They
No,
don't
but
know.
that's the thing. They don't. Yeah, they shouldn't know. They shouldn't know that their neck is
Shouldn't
going
know.
to be.
There's got to be
added
some
to the-
Oscar bait. That
Maybe
Well,
maybe instead of the
collective.
Actors Guild, it should be the
neck
Directors
collective.
Guild who hold
Yeah.
the goose. So the actors don't know
Yeah.
where they're going.
produces
But
goose.
so-
Producers Guild, yeah.
but basically,
The
every time- every time-
Progoosers.
Yeah.
There goes a title. The Progoosers.
Will, what are you saying? What are you saying?
What do you say, Oliver?
every time an actor wins one, they get added to this monstrous Oscar beast, but they also get regenerated out of the primordial ooze of DNA, so that it's like a clone of themselves. So there's like if the person who I can imagine some sort of assistant mad scientist showing whoever gets to the beast what it is, and he's going, yes, that part that's Daniel Day-Lewis, and that part is his as well. And there's there's like 17 parts of like Jack Nicholson, like the newest version of Jack Nicholson is just won another Oscar. They trot him in, stripped, naught but a stitch on, and then cut him up and then add him to this beast.
So what? Can there be a scene where an actor learns of this beast, and what happens is like they look at the Oscars and they're like, oh yeah, I finally won an Oscar, and then they look at the head and they're slowly looking at it and they realise that the head is of like Patrick Stewart, and they're like, what the hell? And then they look at another Oscar and it's like someone completely different, and they're like his little heads like screaming, these little golden heads. They're like, oh my god, like, these are all the missing celebrities.
What if you heard like a sort of and they're actually like they've been like what's it called when you cover something in gold? Like they've been dipped in, like shrunk and dipped in gold.
Inside
it's just the fluid that the Goose Beast dispenses as part of the primordial goose.
Goose juice.
The goose.
The golden goose.
Yeah.
Gold goose.
Wait, were you saying
it just dispenses one end of the... Yeah, so there's the Progoosers, but this is the primordial goose that they come
the
from.
The subtitle should be
I'm thinking,
juice.
I was thinking... The primordial goose is just like it looks like a plucked goose, and then like every now and then an actor will just kind of like tumble out like they're being born, covered in like all the goose, and then they're just like screaming on the floor, and then they have to come and like wrap them in towels because their brains like aren't developed. They kind of develop really quickly, so it's like they're a 30-year-old man with the mind of an infant, and then over the course of a few hours he kind of comes to the realization that he's actually a 30-year-old man, and then they groom them to win Oscars. Because the goose has told them to.
The goose has produced.
The goose.
The geese
has
produced. That's what the
produced.
Produced. Oh my god.
Look at Drew, he's crying.
That's the poster.
So fucking stupid.
An actor covered in this goo, just lying on this concrete floor with this like hideous like patchwork ass like above it. This unsized geese and like
patchwork. Oh, it's real stick.
It just
together.
It just says, what is it? The Progoosers, the geese produce.
It's like that Holy
like
Bible.
Michael Cera like on the floor like oh my god.
we could have a
it's producing.
Just a small like sort of spin-off horror called The Poltergeist.
So what's
the story? I've completely forgotten.
Yeah. Like what's
I just
all we've really gone into is the method of how the goose works.
Yeah.
Right. So are we trying to save it?
I think we should try and save it.
It needs to liberate.
Okay.
I think maybe it should be a comment on they're saying how the Oscar sort of panel is so outdated now. It's kind of how Wanted is kind of, from what I remember about Wanted, it's kind of about fighting against fate, kind of choosing your own fate. It should be about younger actors rising up to say this isn't reflective of, because the Goose keeps churning out all this sort of classic stuff and it's not representing current diverse Hollywood and new young talent. So they're like that. Then a couple of young actors discover why that is, and it's because it's this old goose, this old goose
made up.
This old goose that's made up of different bits of all Oscar winners. So it's outdated, and they need to. So maybe they steal it to liberate it and to force the Oscars, to try and force change.
You've got
a new path, forge a new path.
Charlie Leinstein, the villain Charlie Leinstein, following the trail of Oscars that this thing leaves behind.
Has Leo won an Oscar
yet? He could be like their insider because he bucks the trend.
He did. Oh, this would be great if he hadn't have won one, because he could be then be the leader.
Well, there's plenty of people who haven't won one.
He could have a heartbreaking moment where he has to give that Oscar back. He has to just choose whether to give up his Oscar or not.
No, we can have a good.
I think he has to shove it back up into the goose, don't you?
Yeah.
The thing is, this is so. Leo could be so wanting to be part of the Oscar thing for so long, but when he finally wins, you have this scene. It's like, for a bit of comic relief, because this film's quite, hideous in its body horror. For some comic relief, you have you show him being integrated into the goose, and his head emerges through the skin, just his face, and then he looks to his left, and Nick Cage's face is there, because Nick Cage won an Oscar. And then, Leo's just no.
Not like Cage. Not like Cage.
Oh, you like my movie Knowing?
No,
Cage.
Nicolas Cage just looked towards Leo at that point and just say, "Your goose is cooked."
Yeah.
Maybe our young actors at some point have to seek out the help of a veteran, but they need to make sure they go to a really, non-Oscar director, and the hero of the piece could be Michael Bay. Michael Bay, he gets shat on all the time. The young heroes go to him because he's one of the least credible but highest profile people in Hollywood to help them.
The silver-haired fox they pull out of retirement.
Is that it for one last ride?
Transformers 15. I don't want to make any more movies. It's just that people aren't getting it.
We need the Michael Bay that made The Rock. Where's he? Bring him back.
He's no, The Rock was too good. I needed to bring these people down with constant commercialized shit.
I need to go back to The Last Night. The Last Night is the height of my shittendom.
Yeah.
Does Clint have an Oscar? He must have.
He's got a few, I think. Yeah.
Well, in that case, just off piste a bit. Can we have it so that the goose monster on top of its head has Clint's cowboy hat from
his face stretched across it
the Progoose with no name.
The goose with no name. For a few goslings more.
Maybe they can also team up with. Sorry.
I said, how big is this goose? Because I'm imagining it the size of a building.
Huge.
It's 70 odd years of Oscar history.
Melded into one hideous beast.
Housed under the White House.
Neck beast.
The neck beast. It's in the sort of mountain where the Hollywood sign is. The goose is under there.
Yeah.
I was going to say it's in Washington. It's under the White House, but the neck cranes up that big monument that, when they crack it open at the top, there's this hideous head looking around.
It's just a flap of skin. It looks like a foreskin or something.
With a cowboy hat.
Heels back.
Ready for another neck to be added.
From the free
it's like a never-ending polo neck.
Yeah, maybe they've got a goose head on standby, but they haven't got enough necks yet. Once they've collected enough necks, that's when they stick the head on it and finish the goose, the final goose.
You know how that's when this Harvey Weinstein
Charlie
be inserted into the top of it, and that's when their true combination. Charlie Weinstein, that guy, he'll just be slowly inserted into the top of it, and that's when his reign of terror truly begins. We've seen nothing yet.
It's up to him versus Michael Bay.
In the most gratuitous end fight,
which just looks like something out of the Transformers film, but instead of just this mechanical stuff in your face, rolling about, you've got all these actors, mishmash of actors all slurred on the screen.
His face is going past.
Oh my god! There's just incessant talking about movies that have won Oscars covered from this thing. So, Moneyball. Maybe the catalyst for this whole thing was right at the beginning of the movie. You have something to do with what's his face, Michael Keaton, talking about his film Birdman. And what it's really about. It's not about a theatre show. He says it's all a front for what's really going on. I need to get close to the enemy, so I made this real Oscar bait movie.
Yeah, the real title was Goose Man, but they wouldn't let it. They wouldn't let it through. Too close to the truth.
Close to the truth. Yeah. It won all the Oscars, and then I never saw the director again.
He was absorbed by the goose.
He was
so the ending is Michael Bay. He blows up.
the bunch of Michaels getting together. Michael Bay, Michael Keaton,
Michael Cera.
Sarah,
Well, 'cause
Michael Moore.
I had an idea for the ending. Like, as a nice little ending at the end, like some people could be, you could just see all these old Oscar winners, the ones who are still alive, just getting their necks back. Like I imagine, just it's like a really nice, jaunty song playing. It's like,
swinging them on their fingers, like
like just knocking.
It should be that bit where the giant goose explodes in the last fight, and so it's like raining necks, and all the actors are holding their hands up.
My neck!
And like, my neck! I remember my neck. How could I forget
like
my neck? It's like the guy at the end of Cook with his marbles. Like, my marbles, my neck!
my neck. But they've all got no necks, so their like shoulders are really like.
Some actors end up with like an extra 10 necks.
Yeah, because
they just take the dead actors.
Yeah, anyone who's dead.
No, that's my neck.
As well.
Daniel Craig, he's got enough neck.
I'm so confused about trying to imagine how one removes the neck without killing them.
It should be done.
That's it. I think it should never be explained.
They just got like a
need to be
just like.
They die, and then a new one gets cloned.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
No. I've got it. Here's what you do: you get 2 blades, fucking sharp ones, and you quickly
Really
go like that. You quickly just go straight through like that.
Head drops down onto
and then the neck flies out, and then the head just drops down, and it heals.
Quickly sew it up.
There you go.
Quick. It's so quick.
That's how you do it. Yeah, it's so quick. It didn't have time.
The blades have glue on it, so they stick a layer of glue as they swipe past. It just glues on.
That's why there's the scene where like the kid, one of the young actors, is watching like an old Oscars back on TV, trying to suss out what's really going on, and they're frame by frame going through when Leonardo DiCaprio won his first Oscar, and they go, the Oscar goes to, he goes, Leonardo DiCaprio, and it cuts to him on the table, and you see him stand up like really arching his neck out, like going, yeah, like that. And as he gets up, you just see like a blur go past his neck, and then his neck drops down.
Wait, freeze frame that.
No one noticed that when he was sat at the table, he was normal, but when he went up to collect his Oscar, he had no neck. But because it's so instant, no one noticed.
But like where his neck is shortened, there's like a very, very slight indent like that because of how like sort of thinner it gets. So it's just like,
and every Oscar winner holds their head like in place while they're giving their speeches.
That's why
I'm
some
so shocked.
Nobody thinks
Oh my god.
That's why some people after winning an Oscar struggle to sort of maintain their career because they can't handle it with that neck. Something's missing. All the magic was in the neck. They just can't do it.
It's like as soon as they won the Oscar, the magic was just gone.
I lost something that
perhaps
night.
There's some like fame gland, a fame gland that secretes fame into your neck, and then
there's a talent gland and
they want to harvest
a talent
it all.
gland and a famous gland at either side of the neck. And if you chop it at the right angle, you keep
Famous
the talent
gland.
Maybe you find it for people that have won like multiple Oscars. You find like really old footage of them before they won an Oscar, and they just had really fucking long necks.
Yeah, they were like.
So they had more neck to
like
do
a giraffe.
another one.
They had a giant talent gland. It was just pumping talent into them. It was just bulbous with talent.
They were drenched in talent.
Hang on, one sec, because
and when they had to drink water, like they were like a giraffe, they had to go up to a watering hole and be like,
You really bend over. Craning.
Really, their legs splay so far apart just to contain.
Guys, I knew it. They're fucking Walt Disney has won 22 Oscars.
Bloody hell. The size of that guy's neck. He's got enough necks for the whole world.
So this Oscar Goose is anti-Semitic then, I assume.
Yeah,
He's got some very choice views, yes.
Yeah.
Well, the Goose have all
Don't give him a drink.
that we made up of loads of different people.
Yeah, exactly. It'll have everything in one mash. Every racist and every liberal view under the sun.
Maybe it's like the savior of humanity. Then maybe it could stop all wars as well. That's why they want to free it.
Well, that's the twist at the end. Michael Bay actually destroys the world by killing this goose thing.
Yeah.
Michael,
maybe it was.
He's like, you could never win.
Basically, our Goose is like Abradolf Linkler, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Geese produce. Oh, can the final shot of the film go through the remains of the dead goose, and it's like the end of Godzilla 1998. You hear the music swell as the camera slowly pans through, and then you just see this egg just in the middle of like it was like pregnant.
Like Godzilla.
Zooms in, and then you see it crack, and who should emerge fourth?
But Andy Serkis.
But Andy Serkis. Yeah.
Just Andy Serkis's neck flaps open.
No, I'll tell you, I'll just fuck that. No, fuck that. It should be us. We should all stride out of this egg. we are.
We're in sharp suits.
The new talent. We are the new kids on the block. We'll just constantly shifting out little Oscars.
Proudly.
And then we jump and freeze frame, and it's don't you forget about
Instead of our hands going up and pauses, our necks really stretch up.
Like,
and then our bodies go up with it
it's like
elastically.
Inspector Gadget. You know when you go,
Yeah.
So that's like, don't you? I'm really flopping out.
The horrible rubbery slap sound as it really distends. Like our heads like fucking Stretch Armstrongs.
The film is made in 3D, but none of the rest of the film is in 3D except that last shot where our necks fly out into the audience. And in 4D, you feel the slap of our talent gland.
You feel the gush as the talent gland unloads on everyone.
Do you think would we win the Oscar for that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
The ambition, the
most
sheer ambition.
Told by the Goose.
He'd win an Oscar for sheer honesty of what's been going on
yeah,
behind the
telling the
scenes.
truth.
Sheer Oscar-ny.
It was good. It was a good plot line as well. I was thoroughly confused.
Yeah.
How did we get that from DNA testing?
Job done.
Can we have Ryan Gosling in it, please?
He's the head of the Goose.
Ryan Goosling.
He's the son. He's the son of the Goose.
Yeah, he knew about it all. He tips off the young actors because he knew about it.
How did we miss Ryan Gosling? I don't know.
Oh, damn it!
Perfect candidate.
So are we calling this the Progoosers?
Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah.
Goose.
You can't get any better than that, can you? That was genius.
Okay,
Progoosers. The geese progress. Produce.
How much
Goose
goose can this goose produce?
Fucking hell. Okay.
Progoosh.
So, coming this summer, I give you the Progoosers. The geese produce. If you guys would like to contact us, you can find us on Twitter at ComingThisPod. You can find us on Facebook at Coming This Summer Podcast. You can subscribe to us on Podbean, which is comingthissummer.podbean.com, or you can subscribe to us on iTunes, which is just type in Coming This Summer. You could leave us a review as well, just to let us know how you think we're doing, whether we should keep doing it anymore. That would be very nice. Thank you. Bye.